we have a role called the podcast ninja. And what the podcast ninja is intended to do is you need to be able to produce full-length video, full-length audio, video micro content, and you need to actually be able to shoot and produce the whole thing. So think of these three as post-production, and then this is day of shooting and production. Does that make sense? Start with full-length video and say this is the audio that goes along with it, okay? So we don't start with actually being able to shoot it. We want to start with post-production, not only because that's what more of the stuff is, but that's the more attainable and location independent part of the task. Someone needs to be there to shoot, which there's just a greater kind of resource cost to that. You don't have to be there to cut something apart. That's why you could go on Upwork and find that micro content producer. So what we start with, and this will be great because both of you have said you have like just these like long things like waiting in the back catalog waiting to be processed, is we also have that, and we have a document that I can show you that basically says like, here's things that we know we need made, we know need to be created in some capacity. You can pick. That's also important because it's instead of being dictated down, it's like, let me summarize what these 4 things are. So we have an interview with someone in finance, we have an interview with someone who owns a restaurant, we have an interview with someone who pets dogs. I don't know, I'm like coming up with ideas, but like, where is your interest? It's like, oh, well, I love food, I'm a foodie, I'm gonna do the restaurant. Oh, I'm in financial services, maybe that'll kind of be relevant to me, I don't know what's going on. Cool, here's the link to it. And in the link is that raw piece that's there. Their only starting task is to create 1 to 4 pieces of micro content out of that thing. It's a very kind of simplistic task. At the high end of simplicity, you're literally telling them which pieces to take. You can point to examples that other people have. We can be like, here's 5 pieces that have done particularly well. Find moments like these, pull them out, do the editing where there is the title at the top, there is the captions at the bottom, and the person's in the middle. Or if it's you giving like a rant or a point or something, that's the actual construction of the thing. And then all I want to do after you're done is I'm going to read these captions. I'm going to make sure that you spelled everything right. Further, I'm going to tweak the copy that you wrote as the title and I'm going to tell you why I changed it so that you become a better copywriter and hopefully eventually get to being in my voice. So people write in the passive voice versus the active voice, they'll like maybe misunderstand what the person's even saying, but instead of just here's the clip or here's what the title should be, try it and let me work with you on it. So right there, that's where the learning's coming in. They're thinking, man, not only do I get to be creative, but like I'm actually better understanding the content brain. Maybe like 2 of the 4 choices aren't good, but like there's still 2 good choices out there, right? So they make those choices, they're feeling autonomous, they're also learning a lot through that process. Okay, step 2 is, and this is specific to us, but for us, we have raw video and raw audio that isn't even full length yet. So what I'm saying is, what the person first did is they literally just made this when these things were already created. Now, these things need to be created. They've been shot, but they've not actually been assembled into a full length thing. So maybe there's like the 2 camera setup and you're bouncing back and forth at appropriate times. We want you to assemble the full thing and make the micro content. So that's like a kind of a micro step forward, but now they understand the entirety of post-production on the video side. So they understand video, they're not necessarily there yet for audio. I misspelled audio because I am bad at spelling. After that point in time, now there's a little variability. The guy that we're really excited about, he has a kind of a capacity and an interest in audio, so we're also pushing him in audio. Sometimes we never even necessarily go there because the pure video skill set by itself is so valuable. Where we would go next is they get to shoot and produce and then post-produce the full episode. So that means that they set up the cameras, they're there seeing the whole production in place. So they're now seeing the bedside manner of, how do I talk to the guests before we get started? How do I make them feel welcome? How do they see that, we shot for 35 minutes and like 33 minutes is the average podcast episode length. So we're really not cutting that much out from a production standpoint. Then they're coming back and they're assembling the full length video and they're assembling the micro content. But why this order is also incredibly important is this isn't fun to do for long periods of time, because all you're doing is watching something that already happened, that was already made, and pulling moments out of it. It's more efficient to be assembling the full-length video, and while you're doing that, making a note, oh, I said something interesting at minute 2. Oh, I said something interesting at minute 13. Oh, I said something interesting at minute 21, which makes the production of this more efficient. But the real magic is if the person is there while it's being shot and produced, a live environment, and you're hearing whoever speak about something that's really compelling, then you're going into this edit twice as efficient, because you already know how it went. Did we, blow up at minute 13 and have to take a 5-minute break or no? I already know, because I was there. Did we say something really interesting at minute 23? I already know. So the efficiency that's gained from that kind of stair-step approach is you understand the basic component elements that we're particularly excited about. You understand the full post-production, and then you go in, and so the way you would even set up the cameras is informed by having seen all the videos that are then post-produced. So it becomes very intuitive. Okay, we need one camera square on the guest, because a lot of our videos are not even featuring a Piper person, it's that guest dropping knowledge for 1 minute and 45 seconds.